Nature does not make mistakes. Whether you believe in Mother Earth or in one God or more, in a creator or in the universe, you can rest assured that all these higher powers already know what they are doing. Nothing is random in this world. Everything has its purpose. You yourself are an important and unique part of this great whole. Otherwise, you would not exist. If you have already found your place in life, congratulations. However, if you are always struggling with yourself and don't know what to do with your existence, always remember that your uniqueness, your character, and your very individual personality are not only due to your parents. There were higher powers involved, which have chosen you as a player for this life. If you can still sometimes find it difficult to think of yourself as a gift from heaven to earth, recall these 6 universal truths that we present in today's video. If you like our videos, feel free to support us with a thumbs up, subscribe to Psychology in Mind, activate the little bell, and stay tuned for the videos we upload for you daily. Number 1, you are not the sum of your weaknesses. We humans, unfortunately, have a pretty strong tendency to see our weaknesses more clearly than our strengths. Very few of us go through life every day with our heads held high and a self-confident, take-all-comers attitude. Whenever your inner critic gets the upper hand and constantly points out your weaknesses and any need for improvement, silence it. Think of a stop sign in your mind and regain control of your thoughts. Remind yourself of all the accomplishments you've already garnered in your life. What milestones have you been able to successfully accomplish, perhaps even without help? If necessary, make a list that you can hang up somewhere clearly visible and recite like a mantra when needed. Your strengths are within you. You just must not let them be overshadowed by your supposed weaknesses. Number 2, love yourself, then others will too. Self-love is much easier said than done. It is much easier for us to recognize our negative sides and weaknesses than all the lovable and incredible things that are inside of us. Those who experienced sufficient love and positive feedback from parents and other adults as a child will find this a lot easier later on. However, while those who have had to struggle with rejection or perhaps even being constantly belittled will take longer to recognize and appreciate our own worth. The problem with self-love is that it is 100% the law of attraction. If you don't like yourself, no one else will be able to either. You carry rejection and dissatisfaction like a magnet to the outside world, and that's exactly what you'll get back. Choose to like yourself. Most things in life can be achieved by sheer willpower, and self-love is definitely one of them. If you are a beginner here, at least strive for the feeling of contentment. It is a good and solid base on which love can flourish. Number 3, your mind loves storytelling. Strictly speaking, we humans don't need streaming services, television, or cinema. If it were up to our minds, we could do without all these inventions. The best adventures are delivered by the cinema in our head. Hollywood doesn't hold a candle to the kind of wild scenarios that sometimes take place here. Unfortunately, our mind does not automatically work for us. On the contrary, the reason for this lies in our brain's programming to close gaps in context for us. For this reason, cell phone conversations in the subway or on the bus annoy us much more than an interpersonal dialogue. Our brain desperately wants to reconstruct the missing part of the conversation that we can't hear. This demands much more power and energy from us than listening to 2 people chatting face to face. According to researchers, the fact that the worst-case scenario often wins out here is evolutionary. Constant danger and threat have always ensured the survival of the human species. So when your mind tries to convince you that you're unlovable and inadequate, just disbelieve it. With practice, this will raise your shields to protect you from disappointment. Number 4, how others treat you says everything about them but nothing about you. We all have bad experiences with other people throughout our lives. Ideally, we learn from them for the future, nurture our bruised egos a bit, and move on. In fact, the way we are treated by those around us says more about them than it does about us. The only mistake you could really make in these situations would be to sink into victimhood. Not all people can handle bad experiences the same way, but they should not prevent us from moving forward. Step out of the shadows of these people stronger. How you are treated by others is 100% up to them. Whether you let them win is 100% up to you. Number 5, your relationship status does not define your worth. Here, in fact, lurks a major problem that is especially troubling to younger people. Being without a partner in a time where every hand-holding and every walk around the block together is immediately posted on all social media channels and celebrated as if you've just reinvented the wheel makes being single a real bummer in terms of self-esteem. Especially if you've been dumped and the breakup took you by surprise. Such an involuntary fresh start as a single person can put a massive dent in your ego. However, you as a person are not just 50% of a relationship, but 100% human. If your better half really was, you wouldn't be standing there alone. Above all, don't try to compare yourself to others. What we get to see from them is not the heart of the matter. Most relationships, especially those that are highly advertised and praised, are actually a decidedly sober mixture of compromise and hard work. Number 6, negative things stay with us longer. We also have evolutionary biology to thank for this fact. Anyone who has survived an attack by a saber-toothed tiger will not soon forget this near-death experience. Today, this means our mind warns us of threats substantially more intensively than necessary in the 21st century. Thus, it also happens that stupid sayings and negative comments that threw you for a loop at some point remain forever in the memory. Today's conclusion: the greatest human strength is also its greatest potential flaw, purely a matter of the head. If you listen to these points carefully, you will come across a pattern. It seems that negative feelings are mainly the fault of our subconscious mind. Sounds contradictory, but it's not. The good thing is that our feelings are actually much stronger than our thoughts. So if you can manage to feel good about yourself and make peace with yourself, at least enough to let contentment settle in, you're well on your way to being true to yourself forever. That's it for today.
Thanks for watching. Did you find this information helpful? Do you have experience with it? We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. For more resources about mental health, self-improvement, and psychology, visit our website. You'll find the link in the video description where you can also connect with us on social media and sign up for our email list. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful day.